Welcome back to Ruby on Nails, and today I am super pumped to be showing you this video, so roll that credit. So when I tell you that I am super excited, I really mean that I'm super excited. This is the Holotaco Dark Rainbow collection. It is the third and final iteration of the Holotaco Rainbow series. I hope it's not the final, personally. I kind of want to see what else there is to do with this kind of motif. It is 7 polishes, and unfortunately the collection box is sold out already. It was one of the fastest collection boxes to sell out, which very exciting, and I hope the people who wanted it were able to get it. The bundle on the Holotaco website is still available, so if you just want the polishes, or if you missed out on launch day but you still want the polishes, you can still get them, and they're going to be a permanent addition to the Holotaco catalog, so that's very nice. Now I have lots to talk about in this video. Obviously, spoilers, I love the collection, I love all of the colors quite a bit, but I did experience a couple of variations in the formula thickness or thinness, so we will be diving into that when I go over each polish individually. Now I do want to give a little bit of a stipulation for my video. My filming equipment isn't the most state-of-the-art, so I had a little bit of trouble filming each polish as accurately as possible. So you know that. I will say that the photos online and the huge variety of swatches that we see on Holotaco's website are very accurate in my opinion, so if you want to see a more accurate depiction of all of these polishes, definitely go to the Holotaco website. But now that I've given you both of those stipulations, let's look at this box. I really like this box. I think it complements the other two collections really nicely, and I was very excited to see what they did with this kind of idea of a dark rainbow. And I do really just want to highlight how we get this really cool kind of metallic rainbow up top, and then it fades to an almost black at the bottom. It's really quite nice. And of course we have, can you see a rainbow in the dark? If these polishes are the only evidence of that, I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, you can see a rainbow in the dark. As you can see, the standard carton, this isn't a special edition box, it's not limited edition, and it's not a collab, so the unicartons are still the same. Overall, I really like this box. I think it's got a very cohesive look to it, and I think it'll look very nice on my shelves next to the other two. Okay, so now that we've discussed the box, we've discussed some of my thoughts beforehand, let's jump into the swatches, because I really want to show you those. They're quite exciting. So let's kick things off in rainbow order, starting with Crimson Void. This is a dark, vampy, scarlet red, linear holographic polish that was fully opaque in 2 coats, and I really like this shade. I'm not a huge classic red kind of person. I just don't really like how they look on my nails, but when we get into these categories of dark vampy reds, I absolutely adore them. And as you can see here, this one is as vampy as they get. I don't actually have a linear hollow polish that looks anything like this in my collection, so I was very happy for this addition. Let's debate. Is Burnt Bridges a orangey brown, or is it a bronzy orange? I'll let you guys throw down in the comments below. I can definitely see this going the way of Midnight Spark. Debate-wise, is it blue, is it purple, is it brown, is it orange? That's up to you and your personal interpretation of the color. Either way, this is a gorgeous color, and I'm super glad to have this in time for fall. I was able to get full opacity in 2 very easy coats. It was a little bit thicker than I would have liked, but you know, that's just the way it is sometimes when you get into darker, more opaque polishes. Just keep that in mind if that's something you care about when purchasing. But let's keep this ball rolling. Next up, we have Amber Apathy, and God, I love that name. I don't know why, it just really sticks out to me. When I first heard that we were going to be getting a dark rainbow collection, I was super excited for a dark mustardy polish, but this is definitely different from what I was expecting when I heard the overall theme of this collection. This is much more of a topaz than a mustard, and I'm actually really glad for that because I like how this is kind of a green tinted gold linear holographic polish. It's definitely very unique. A lot of companies will go with more of a mustard, especially if a collection is coming out in the fall because mustard is a popular shade. But this was a gorgeous polish, a little bit thicker, but still really nice to play with. Let's get lost together because up next is Lost in the Woods, and this is easily my favorite from the entire collection. A little bit of a shocker for me. I wasn't super ecstatic when I first saw the promo photos and the swatches by everybody, but this in person is really kind of a spectacular nail polish. It was fully opaque in 2 coats, and I did find it was a little bit on the thicker side, so keep that in mind, but I really love this deep green with a blue undertone. It's just absolutely stunning, and it's giving me very much modern kitchen designs. Everybody's painting their walls green in their kitchens, and this is a polish that kind of reminds me of that color a lot of people are choosing. I really like the blue undertone. I was expecting something a lot more rich, but this is rich in a kind of subtle way. Just gorgeous, but watch out for staining. Up next is Sunken Secrets, and this was the polish I was kind of the most meh about. I do want to mention up front, the formula is a lot thinner than the rest of the polishes. Do keep in mind, could just be my bottle, or it could be the formula. As you can see, the thinness kind of took me by surprise, so I got a little messy. But despite that, I really like this color. Again, I wasn't expecting a whole lot. The swatch pictures kind of looked like, you know, a lot of the other blues we've received from Holotaco, but I like this dark denim linear holographic polish. I think it's really pretty, and I'm super glad to have this in my collection. I do want to play around with it in the future, see how it performs in a gradient or being sponged on with that thinness, but I like the color, and if you can compensate for that, get it. Oh, Violet Nightmares. God, when I first saw the promo pictures for this, I was like, isn't that just purple slushy? But don't worry, I'm going to do a side-by-side with the third polish just so we can really clear the air up on that in just a second. Let me focus on Violet Nightmares just by itself for now. I like this polish. I don't think it will be a go-to for me, but it performed really nicely. The formulation was a good thickness and thinness to it, and it was opaque in 2 coats. I really liked how cool toned this one was. It's a purple linear holographic polish. What's not to like about that? I think it also complemented the overall theme of the collection very nicely. And yeah, it's really pretty. But let me show you what this polish looks like next to Purple Slushy and Rainbow Flood. They're different. There you go, they're different. I don't know what else to say. They're obviously different, and I don't know why in my head they weren't. I think Violet Nightmares is the closest to Rainbow Flood, so if you missed out on that limited edition polish, now's your chance for something similar. Last but not least is Dead Petals, and this was one of the polishes I had the most issue with, mostly because I thought it was very similar to Crimson Void, especially when you're just looking at it in natural light. I put both of these colors on my hands, and I was having a hard time telling which one was which just in my office. I just wish it was like maybe a little bit more pinky, just a little bit more different, especially to make sure that it could stand out in a 7 polish collection. To me, it just kind of blends in with Crimson Void in my head or when I'm looking at them all together. But it's still a really beautiful polish, and if you want something that's a little bit more burgundy and you're not getting the whole collection, Dead Petals is perfect for that. And I just wanted to really emphasize the color here, so here it is with Flash. Now that you've seen all of the swatches, what do you think? Were you a fan of this collection? I'm just going to be upfront with my opinion. This is probably going to be one of my favorite collections of the year 2020. No, 2022. But this is definitely going to be one of my favorite collections of this year. I really like it when brands take an idea that's kind of been overused in a way. Rainbow has been a super popular idea. It's a super popular concept. It's not all that unique, but I like it when brands play around with that. So this collection, to me, there's some creativity into it. Even though we have previously seen a dark rainbow collection, that one is no longer available on the market. So I'm glad that there's something that kind of filled that gap. And the collection that I'm referring to is the Dark Rainbow collection by Enchanted Polish. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those polishes. However, if you do want to see a swatching comparison of the Enchanted Polish's Dark Rainbow collection and Holotaco's Dark Rainbow collection, check out Kelly Marissa's video. She did a very easy to comprehend side-by-side viewing, and she broke it down a little bit, and I'll include that video in the cards above. All the colors in this collection I'm super excited to have, and I guess the one thing that I really wish was a little bit different is that I wish that the orange shade was a little less of a brown. I know I'm a huge supporter of brown holographic polishes, but I wish there was more of an orange, and I'm not saying that it's not a proper orange, but I wish it was a little bit orangey. However, I'm still super happy that there's another brown polish in the Holotaco lineup, especially one that's going to be permanent. Now that you've heard my opinions, you've seen my swatches, you've probably seen these swatches and nail art all over the internet because we were all super excited for this to finally come out. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you have any opinions? Did you have any issues, or are you just over the moon? Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, and if you like my videos, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Ow. I knew that was gonna hurt, so I don't know why I did it. With both of those things said, let's jump into the swatches. I totally forgot to go over the box.